Come hang out with me as I play with some potatoes. Hello, everyone. My name is Kim, and you're at Kim's Cozy Corner. It is another pretty chilly day in Ohio. Today is April 11th, and I am in Southwest Ohio. And it is the middle of April, but the temperatures are only 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'll put the Celsius up here for you. So we are in our spring days. These are early spring days. And my last frost date typically runs around the last week of April. But at the rate we're going, I'm going to have my last frost date in June. But there's some things we're going to try to get done now. Even though it's chilly, even though we have 80-degree days, we're still having some pretty cool days as well. So we're going to get some things done today, and that includes some potatoes. So we'll need to clean out some containers. So let me show you and explain. So over the last week, we've had some freezing weather. Not like freezing rain, not like ice or anything like that, but we have had temperatures in the high 20s for a couple of nights, and then we got back up to 80 degrees. But then we've had some nights probably in the mid 40s. In this time of the year, the only kind of vegetables that I can have outside are cool season vegetables, like these collard greens that I have right here. I did nothing special to them. I didn't cover them up. I didn't do anything to protect them from the weather. And they did just fine with those high 20-degree weathers for, I think it was 2 nights back to back. And I think we're expecting another night tonight. But this right here, this was a potato plant, as was this one right here. It was green, it was happy, but it could not stand the test of that cold, freezing weather. Now, if you only have one night like that, you should be fine. It might kill the greens on top, but the potatoes down below should be fine. My issue is that I don't believe these were ready to produce potatoes. But at this point, I have no greenery left, so we're going to empty these out just to see if we get anything or not. Now, although the green leaves of your potato plants can't handle this kind of weather, your seed potatoes will be fine below the ground if they haven't sprouted above the ground yet. So let me show you something. I've already started potatoes in this entire bed, but they're from seed potatoes. They are 5 feet below ground in this bed here. And that was just a few days ago. And they haven't sprouted yet. So they are just fine. And they're going to be just fine when we finally get out of this weird weather that we're having. And so I don't have to do anything special. I didn't lose anything in this bed. So when I say I lost my potatoes, I'm talking about potatoes that I was playing with indoors in the indoor grow space, not what I'm calling this year's supply of potatoes. Like, I need these to come in so I don't have to buy potatoes from the store. But this bed is fine. I have one other bed over there that I started that's fine as well because they have not sprouted above the ground. So the potatoes for this year, we're okay, y'all. Don't worry. But we're going to take a look at those ones in those small containers that we brought from indoors and see if we got anything at all, because they're not going to grow anymore in the condition that they're in. So in this bed, I got broccoli, I got cauliflower, I got onions, and they're all doing fine. They're still green. Nothing bad has happened to any of them, and I've covered nothing. Same thing in this bed here. I have cabbage in the back, and I have, you probably can't see it, but there are a few onion there. The bed just to the side of it over there, that bed's doing fine as well because they're all cool season crops. Now, please don't get me wrong. If I was going to be highs of 20 and 6 inches of snow in my garden, I would have to protect them from the weather. But all I'm having is a couple cool nights in the 30s, a couple in the high 20s, One of them we did have frost. The other one we didn't have frost because it was, what was it? It was cloudy. It was windy. I can't remember what it was. We didn't have frost, and we were at 28 degrees. And I didn't lose any of my cool season crops, none whatsoever. But if this was going to be multiple days back to back to back, then y'all, I would be putting frost covers on my cool season crops as well. Even these young lettuce plants in here survived that weather. And these are transplants that I just put in less than a week ago, and they are surviving this cool weather because they're cool season crops. So lettuce is another one of those that we don't have to worry too much about this time of year. And then over here, I have all of my little young seedlings. Now, I even have flowers out here. These are pansies, and pansies can stand the cool weather, and they're actually happy, y'all. They're getting big, even though it's super cool out here. So, depending on the crop that you're growing, pansies, cool season crops, onions, cool season crops. It just depends on what it is, on whether or not it can handle this type of weather. So, all of these are out here. Again, I didn't cover them in any way, and they all look good. I have kohlrabi, I have lettuce, I have broccoli, I have cauliflower, cabbage, celeries over there. I have herbs over there, some herbs, not all. What else do I have over here? I think I named everything. Brussels sprouts, kale, greens. I have collard greens. I have turnip greens. I have mustard greens. I have Chinese cabbage. They are all just fine. But those potatoes over there, they're not. So let's see if we got anything to clean those pots up so we can make room for something else when the weather warms up. So I figured it would be a good idea to explain these potatoes here and why they look the way they do compared to everything else out in my garden. And people thought I had lost all of my potatoes, and no, I didn't lose everything. On that little short clip that I did, all I did was lose these 3 little planters. So let's see. Oh my goodness. And they're waterlogged again. But let's see if by chance there's a potato or two. I don't think there's anything in here. But you never know. You might get lucky, right? And it is not potato season to be out here doing this. But I need to clean these pots out so it can be potato season one day very soon. Okay, that's a seed potato. Oh, that's a potato. I'm not expecting anything, but that's a potato, y'all. And another. Okay. Y'all, that might have been a potato. I don't know. Because there's the seed potato husk. And I let this go a very long time, but now this one's rotten. So that might have been a potato. I had this indoors and it kept dying indoors on me. Let's just put them over here for now. It kept dying. I don't know what was going on, so I brought it outside. And this has been going a long time. But they're the seed potatoes. It's super wet. There's the other one. Well, I got 3 when I wasn't expecting it to get any because this one died on me inside. This is the next one that I planted indoors from last year's potatoes. Just playing around a little bit indoors. It needed a lot more time, just to be honest. But y'all, we got potatoes. I think that was a seed potato. Imagine if the tops hadn't died. There would be potatoes in here, y'all. And it's not potato season, let me be clear. It is not time for potatoes. But it was time for me to start all my young seedlings, and these were in the way. I still have plenty of seed potatoes from last year. So, no loss. We were just playing around. They were nice and green before that weather came in. Beautiful, beautiful potatoes. That was one of the seed potatoes as well. See, they were happy. They were ready to keep doing their thing. And I bet you anything, if I stick them back in this container, and I might just do that, y'all. If I stick this back in that container, I bet you I can get these to grow some more. And I might just do that. They're still solid. They're in good shape. How about we play around with that to see if I had let these keep going, even though the tops had died back, to see if they would have resprouted and kept going. So we will do that with these two. Not with the smushy ones. Those are smushy. And this one was just starting to get happy. I know there's no potatoes in here, but I need to get these out so I can get something else in this pot. And I want the soil too. I put 2 potatoes in here and it's way too early for them to have anything. So there's the potato right there. And there's the dead tops. And there's a peanut. A peanut. Of course. Of course there's a peanut in there. Why wouldn't there be? All right. So we're going to put this one back in there. And this one. And we're going to do an experiment, y'all. This might not do anything, but at least we can play around a little bit. And in this container, we're going to do the same thing. So let me get some dirt in the bottom. My potatoes. Should I give them some fertilizer while I'm at it since I'm out here? Should I be nice? A little fertilizer? Can't hurt, can it? Put a little fertilizer in here. And the one that I just put on the ground, fertilize that one. A little fertilizer in this one. A little more soil. I'm not going to fill it all the way up. We're going to wait and see if it starts to sprout. If it does, then we'll come back and fill it up. But while I'm here, I wanted to do an experiment because I've seen other people do this experiment where they start potatoes in a box. And so I am going to start some potatoes in a box. We are going to fill it up to about right here until the potatoes sprout. And then we're going to keep backfilling with soil to the top of this box. Now let's see if we can grow potatoes in a box. It's a little chilly, but as I talked about before, these potatoes haven't sprouted yet. So I'm going to go get some of my good seed potatoes and we are going to start potatoes in a box, y'all. So for the potatoes that we're going to plant in this box, I got 2 varieties, y'all. I couldn't make my mind up. So as I was trying to figure out which one is the right one, I said they both the right one since I couldn't decide. So in this box, we are going to fill this box. This is just a standard box, y'all. There's nothing fancy about this box. And hopefully it'll hold up for the whole season. Hopefully it will. We will see. We will see. Anyway, I'm just tucking the flaps in. I didn't put no special holes in the bottom because it's cardboard, y'all. Cardboard. We don't have to worry about that. So the first thing we need to do, y'all, we gotta put some dirt in here. And I'm gonna use some of my spent dirt and some good happy frogs. I'm gonna use a little bit of both. I want to give these potatoes every chance to survive. So I just put some Happy Frog in there. There it is. I need to add some bone meal because now we're trying to do it the real way, y'all. This is not just for fun. I mean, it's for fun. Don't get me wrong. It is for fun. But I really want to grow potatoes. I've seen other people grow potatoes in a box. So I want to try to grow some potatoes in a box. So I put a granular fertilizer. I put bone meal. I have about 3 or 4 inches of soil. I'm going to put in Purple Viking, my absolute favorite potato, Purple Viking. And I am also putting in Kennebec, which is also becoming one of my favorite potatoes. And of course, y'all know I got pictures of both of them right here for you. So you can see that picture, kind of space them out a little bit here. And now I need to cover them up as well. So let's pour the rest of this Happy Frog in. I might not top them off with the other soil just yet. I might stop with the Happy Frog. We'll see. I just know I'm not going to open another bag of Happy Frog. All right, I'm going to have to top off with some more dirt. Potting soil, not dirt. I'm going to reuse some of this other that I had. I'm trying to fill it halfway full. So it filled to about right here. If you want a good video on how to start your seed potatoes, I will make sure I have a link below for you. This is in a box, so this is an experiment. Y'all, there it is. I got potatoes in a box. Let's see how well it grows for us this year. Now, wherever I find a home for it, I might have to leave it there because by the time it's time to harvest these potatoes, the box might fall completely apart. So I have to find a place so they can sit all season long. So let's move back out to the garden. Before I move out, y'all, I forgot to show you my handful of potatoes. That's all I got. But I wasn't trying to get anything just yet. But for the ones in that box, I am trying to get those. So let's find a place in the garden. So y'all, there's one reason and only one reason that I'm going to move my box of potatoes over here. And that's because my mom would kill me if I left a box just sitting around the yard. She'd be like, get that box out of my yard. But I want to get it in the garden. It's growing right next to the other potatoes. And we'll see if we can grow potatoes in a box. And let's see how well they do compared to other potatoes that we have. But y'all, that's it for the day. We just playing with some potatoes. That's all we're going to do today. I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope you come back and hang out with me at Kim's Cozy Corner. There's something always going on here. Talk to you again real soon. Bye.